Hello.
Yay.
Nobody's there.
Can't see you off the top of your head.
Just us. Well,
a bit early.
I'm a headless person.
Yeah. I think you might just need to tip the phone. Maybe just tip it a little. What do you think?
Yeah, why not?
The phone. I think you'll see less of you now. You've done nothing.
hello. There's
Hello.
people there anyway. Oh, there you go.
I think that's better, huh?
Yeah, we're in.
Yeah, and hopefully we're we're in the light.
Yeah, I think. Well, I can see us.
Yeah, last time we did this, Sven and I were in the dark.
Yeah, we had a power cut. Hello, Darren.
Hello, Darren.
So
7 people watching. So
yeah,
hello.
hi.
Hello, Debbie.
Happy autumn.
Jan. Hi, Jan.
Debbie, yeah.
Oh, it's so nice to see you all. Names that are all familiar. So, hello,
Oh,
Mandy.
Mandy. Yeah. Denise. Hi,
yeah.
Denise.
Oh, it's so great to see you all. And I see all those little... I love seeing all those little thumbs up and hearts.
Yeah.
Okay, hi,
good.
Kay. It's been a beautiful
Excellent.
day here. Absolutely gorgeous day here. So we've still got a couple of minutes. We went on a bit early because we wanted to make sure that we
We're on.
we were positioned right and that the light was okay. It's funny, if you watched the last one that we did in the dark, that was like...
Hi, Em.
Yay!
Yeah, well, you did it in the power cut.
We did. We didn't think about candles. Because we're crazy dudes. So, well, I hope it's been a... Hi, Neil. Oh, it's so nice to see you all. It really is. It's really great to see all these names coming up. And Adette. Wow.
Hey.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm hoping that this is a
Joanne.
nice light, this soft light, and shows my new hair.
Well, possibly not. Possibly not.
Oh, it's the colours of autumn in my hair again. I always like my hair when it's the colours of autumn. I love the colours of autumn.
That's it. And autumn has definitely arrived.
Oh, yes.
So that change has really come now. The wind's coming, the colours are changing, the leaves are falling. It's beautiful out there.
Yeah.
Might be a little wet, but hey, that's all part of it. Washing it all away.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that you're going to have we're going to have fun tonight. We always end up having fun. We do like to laugh. We like to keep it real. And but thank you, for those of you that are joining us, and quite a few of you out there. And it is time. I don't think I like that light looking at me like that.
Well, you put it there. It's worse from my side, I tell you.
Is it? Do you want it moved?
There you go. No, let's just go.
That's good.
It's like being famous or something.
Well, good evening, everyone.
Hello.
It's me.
And me. She's Lynn.
And here's Bruce.
Excellent. Nothing like being introduced.
No.
That's it.
And we're in autumn. And at the moment we're sitting in Heron's house here at Crane, and it has been a beautiful day. We did have some rain this afternoon, but this morning was glorious, and the sky tonight again was lovely too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We see this pink haze coming through my kitchen. It's just really beautiful. We get lovely sunrises and sunsets here when the clouds move away. So well, get yourself comfortable. We got a few things lined up for you tonight, and as always, we say make yourself, take this time for you. Make sure you're not going to get disturbed, and just get comfortable. And I was going to say take the phone off.
I was going to say turn your phone off, but you might be watching us on the phone, don't turn that off.
But yeah, just try to make sure you're not going to get disturbed. It's definite. It's that slowing down time now, and I know a lot of us have all been quite slow the last few months, but we are at that time where nature is the best teacher. I've always said that nature is the best teacher. But let's just open in a little opening. And hi, Wendy. Hi, is that Emma? Another Emma. Denise. There's lots of people. So let's just visualize our circle within your circle. So if you visualise yourself sitting in that sacred space, in that sacred place, and we're just tuning into those energies at the moment. To the spirits of this place, to the spirit of autumn, autumn that's surrounding us all. The spirits of the teachers of autumn that show us how, by letting go, we can make way for new growth. And as we flow through this evening, may it be one of grace and ease, may it be one of laughter, may it one of acknowledgement, and those ancestors that walk with us and stand by our side be there to love and support us in this journey through autumn. O Hei Namate.
Hang on. Nice.
Felt really nice, yeah. So seasons come, seasons go. With each season it brings with it its own energy and its own quality. And I have to say that I still tend to call it the fall. Everything falls down, all the leaves come falling down off the trees, and I like the fall. And been very blessed over the years to spend many of them in Portland in Oregon, and the colours are spectacular there. They are spectacular here as well, wherever we go. I just love this season, and I feel that if you can embrace each season, as we embrace each season, it makes life a lot more simple when you go with that flow rather than trying to fight against it. Because quite often we get to a time, I don't know about you, Bruce, but we get to that time of autumn, don't we? And we hear a lot of people saying, oh, winter's coming. Oh, yeah. I don't like the dark, the cold nights. And, you know, and you know, when people make that sort of statement, they're already starting to create a problem. They're already starting to fear even that darkness and that slowing down.
Well, manifesting that fear of the darkness.
You know, and it's a beautiful place, but before we can really venture into that darkness, we need to let go of some of the dross that we build up all the time. You know, we think we've just cleared a load, and then something else is coming, because that is actual part of life. That's part of living. That's being real. So we do pick up stuff as well as we go along. But if we look to nature, it teaches us so much. And you know, a lot of people think of decay and rotting, especially leaves when they rot, as something ugly. It's not. It's beautiful. If you ever really look at the decay in a leaf, I've tried to pick some out here today.
Yeah,
I don't know how closely you can see these, but they sort of got like little marks and everything on them. And I always like to say, look for the beauty in decay. And the beauty is giving it the light, the dark, it's giving it the shading, it's giving it the texture.
Those amazing patterns. Different browns and reds and golds.
And different shapes, and lots of different shapes. And we're hoping that you all manage to get yourself some leaves.
Yeah, we're going to do something with leaves.
And this one, when I picked this one up and this one called to me, this one showed me, it's all russet here and brown and the reds, and it goes, the green, it's like that green, that last little bit it's hanging on.
Yeah.
It's that last bit that it's like when the trees start to become, like I call them the skeletons, and you see just the bare branches, there's always this one or two little leaves hanging on at the top.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that reminded me of that, with that bit of green there that's saying, you know, yeah, I just want to hang on to this little bit of dross for a little bit longer before I'm ready to let it go. So you have to be ready to let it go, you know.
And you have to let it go, because the leaves, as they rot down, they become the soil with all the right nutrients for the trees, you know. So like the foundation of the new is always built on the old, and that's what we forget in autumn also. It's the seeds that are falling, not just the leaves. The seeds of the new, and the decay of the old is how the seeds of the new sprout forth. It's part of that cycle.
And they can be big things to let go of. They can be little things to let go of. And then you can collect some beautiful sticks. I love sticks. I think autumn is just, it's absolutely amazing, the gifts that you can get. Sven and I went for a little walk up the woods yesterday, and you know, we've written a bit of a song because it was our experience of becoming one in that autumn sun. It was like the sun was filtering through the trees, and there was this breeze, so all the sun was dancing, and the leaves were just tumbling down. It's just awesome, absolutely awesome. So,
Yeah, there is such beauty in this time.
yeah.
But the you know, the cycle of letting go and letting growth for the new, you know, and like a lot of those things that we as humans need to let go of. There's all the things that we pick up day to day. There's also those deep rooted things, you know. So this evening we're going to do a little bit of work and try and see if we can dig up a few of those deep rooted things and help you let go of those. Right.
Yeah. And what we will say at this point as well is that once we finish tonight, you can always email Bruce or I, or you can get us through Messenger, you know, because if something does come up and you process it maybe for today, or in a couple of days' time you process it and you feel that you would like have a little bit more clarity on it, just email us privately. We can do a FaceTime, we can talk to you, or we can answer you privately, whichever feels best for you. But we are there. You know, it's not just tonight, and we're saying, right, let go of all this stuff and then leave you to sort of deal with it. We're there for you afterwards as well, if you want to talk to us. So that's just really important for us to convey.
Yeah.
So, but you know, all of the seasons bring such inspiration. They really do, and I find with myself, I don't know about anyone else, but spring and autumn seem to bring me even more inspiration than anything else. I've written more pieces, more songs through autumn and spring than I do in the winter and the. Well, I feel like that, but actually, mostly when I look to it, it's pretty well balanced.
I definitely am like that because a lot of my songs are quite watery. And you know, who'd have thought living my life is full of fire that I'd end up having more songs about water. But that's the way it is, you know. Water's that great healer and flow, and when we look at the medicine wheel, this is that time of water and flow, which is also that great cleansing. So we're working with nature and trees this evening on that release and letting go, but the element that's going to help all that is that flow. And that flow's also connected to your emotions, which is why we wanted to offer that aftercare, is because for some people emotion might come, and that's fine. It's a great time of year to cry. You know, it's all about that release, that letting go, but cleansing and making way for the new.
And it's a feel-good factor as well when you've done that, because, you know, there's a workshop that we do actually at sometimes, and we actually sort of show, in a way, we symbolise the negativity that we carry around, and we can actually bring that out and people see it, you know. So you don't always see what's there, so it's really good to do something like that. And when you align yourself and you go with that sacred wheel that turns, you know, that ever-ending circle. And just go with that. Each of the seasons bring that quality of letting you go and letting you show you something, teach you something. It's a great teacher when you go out and you really connect out there. So talking about connections, I think that's a good time to have a read.
Yeah, for sure.
We were having a laugh today because I can't say the word poem.
Oh yeah, Lynn's written a poem.
Poem.
Yeah, there, she's got it. She just still can't spell it, but she knows how to say it now.
in this moment I do. Let's take any notice of that silly little thing that comes up every now and again.
Everybody's wondering why I was squinting at the screen.
Yeah, there was a little message comes out and it's warning me about data, but because I've got unlimited data, so I'm all right. So anyway, this was inspired by autumn. So just close your eyes and have a listen. And if you can picture somewhere that you like, picture that you've seen in your mind's eye, or a place that you like where the trees are starting to turn those beautiful colours. And this is the teachings of autumn. Golden, crisp leaves falling softly from the trees, twisting, tumbling in a hushed autumn breeze. Slowly they fall to the soft, cooling ground, crunching and rustling, a heart-warming sound. Trees that are painted with spirit's soft brush. Reds, golds and yellows, rich colours, so lush. Slowly they fall, nature's way, they let go, sharing with us the knowledge they know. Nature's great teaching to reflect on our life, let go of our fears, our pains and our strife, to follow the change and making way for the new. Healing and lessons, autumn's gifts are for you. It's time of great change, if you don't seek to hide. Make way for new growth, so then you can thrive. Let go of the old and bring in the new. Stand proud and be willing in autumn's full view. I'll put the poem up on the shamanic page or up on this event page for you, so you can write it down and use it, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. It was a real journey in the autumn, that was.
That was lovely.
Yeah. Okay, so
we're going to take you on a little bit of a guided journey where we're going to go inside, see if we can look for those things deep down that don't serve us. We're gonna do this journey with the tree. So if you've got somewhere to sit centered, you might want to stand up, but
if you've got your pen and your
leaves ready for after the journey,
so when you come back you can maybe write down what you need to write down on your leaf.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a journey through the tree, look for some of those things that aren't serving us at the moment in our lives, those things that we want to shift on, that we want to get moving, that we want to let go of. And let's remember to really personalize this to you, because that's your point of power, the things that you want to let go of, not those external influences that you've got no control of. Personalize them. If there's those external influences, think of the reaction that it makes in you, how it affects you, what you want to release, what's deep in you. Okay, because we take this journey together, but we take it together alone. So feel your base, whether you're standing or sitting. Feel the ground under you. And just think of yourself as that tree. That tree. Just maybe even move your shoulders and your arms a little bit. Think of that wind. As that autumn wind blows its freshness through on the leaves, around your arms that are the branches reaching out into the sky, into that wind, gently moving, gently rocking, shivering, shaking in the wind. But those branches, as we follow them back to the centre, as they become stronger, thicker, and that brings you to the trunk, that main body of you. Follow that trunk down to the cooling earth, down into the roots, the roots in the dark there, deep down, where you hold those things that aren't serving you. Look to those things, those darker aspects inside. Those situations, how they affect you. And look to what is in you. Those things, those habits, those actions, those reactions, those aspects that you want to change, that you want to move from, to release. Those things that aren't serving you. Focus on the things, your reactions, that aren't serving you. Start to bring them up from that dark place, up through that deep-seated part of you, up through the trunk and through your body, bringing them up into the branches, up into the light, up where they can be seen, up through the branches and out into the air, out into that breeze. See them on the leaves, pushing them out into the leaves, out into the wind, watching them as they change, as they decay, and letting them go, seeing them blow into the wind, seeing them off as they fade away and down, and decaying away, till they're no longer there and become part of the whole. And as you've seen and recognised those things, as your awareness comes back, keeping your mind focused on those aspects, take your pens and write on any leaves that you have there, those things that aren't serving you, those things that you want to release, those things you want to change, to let go of. for anybody that's not fully back, take a few deep breaths. Bring yourself back into the physical. Holding that in your mind. Writing down any of those things on your leaves. And bringing yourselves back. Really focusing those things on those leaves now. Anything that you've written, really take that leaf, see what you've written and really focus that energy into that leaf. You know, make that leaf a real physical representation of those aspects that you want to change. Don't just write it down without thinking about it. Really focus that energy into the leaf. Nature loves to help us. The leaf will take that energy. The leaf will change that energy. The leaf will allow that energy to decay with it, to decay back to that oneness, to become that fertile ground for those new seeds of growth. But really focus those energies into the leaf. Those leaves have become our tools, our medicine tools for this exercise. Cool.
So when we start sort of seeing some indications that you are finished, write it down. We'll just give you a couple more minutes, but you can just give us a little icon or little thing so we know that
Nod.
A little nod.
It's a bit strange doing that really afterwards. You think, oh, is everybody alive?
We can't, you know, usually we've got people around us, we can see whether you're finished writing or whether you're back. If you feel that you need a little bit more time, there's no rush. One year when I was out in, I was up in Washington State at Bear Creek with Patrick, and the trees up there, I mean, you could write a book on the leaves because there's just no pollution up there, is there? It's just pure, and the leaves are huge. You could really write a whole book on a leaf. They're so big. Hold them up and can cover your whole face. The leaves, beautifully big up there. So.
You can do that here. You just have to hold it further away. Look. There you go.
I love some of these. We'll talk about those later. But, so we haven't actually seen any indications yet that you're all back even in the room. So
yeah.
That was a journey on the
They're all
record.
still out there. Mike's back.
Is he? Good.
Hi, Mike.
Yeah, that's good. See some thumbs up, hearts, anything.
Excellent. Anyway,
Well,
we can't wait for them.
can't
They'll
wait.
have to watch it later if they missed a bit.
Yeah. Wow. So now you've got these leaves, and you know, you've got these leaves with all this that you want to let go of. Now there's a couple of things that you can do here now with these. You can wait for a bit of a windy day and go somewhere a little bit high and make an offering and a prayer to the spirit of autumn and to the spirit of the wind, and thank the leaf for taking your, what you've written on there, and just let the wind, hold your hands out and let the wind take them. That's a beautiful thing to do. And one of the other smells that I love of autumn is the smell of the bonfires, you know, where all the leaves are burnt. So again, you can make a sacred fire, and you can do that in a ceremony as well. Beautiful to have a sacred fire, and put your leaves on the fire and make an offering to the fire, and ask the spirits of the fire to help you as well, help to transform those thoughts, those things that you need that help with letting go of. And you've got all of those beautiful energies to help you there. You've got the spirit of the wind, you've got the spirit of autumn, the spirit of the leaf.
You could even put them into a fast flowing river and let them be washed away that way. But remember, the important thing is really to get that intention really into those leaves. What you've written, really focus that in. Maybe even keep the leaves around for a few days and keep that intention going. And the more intention you put into those leaves, the more you focus that energy in there. When you release it, the more powerful that will be, and the more release that you'll get.
And there might be something that it hasn't quite come to you tonight. It might come to you tomorrow. So it's not a case of sort of running out there straight away and getting rid of these. Because that intention is there, is to help you. So it's not a big pile of negativity. It's a pile of positivity, because you're letting it go. So it's not going to be heavy and draining and holding you down. It might
fit. They might feel a bit on the negative side now, depending on how you're feeling and how really deep those things that you put on the leaves are. You'll have your own feelings about them, but really, the more you can hang on to them. If you look at the trees, they're trying to hang on to those leaves, all those things that don't serve us. As human beings, for some bizarre reason, we hang on to them. We hang on to them as much as the resistance to actually release is so intense in so many people. So do hold on to them for a few days. Really focus that energy in there, so that when you do let it go, you really feel that release. The more intention, the bigger the effect. I can't stress that enough, But look to the trees. They're hanging on to the last, They'll hang on till there's one leaf left, and they'll still be hanging on.
Dangling right at the very top.
This is what we're like as humans. Those really deep things, it's like, oh no, we have a resistance to lose it. Whether it's serving us or not. This is just part of being a human.
Sometimes it's like it's comfortable, because there's a comfortableness within that.
That's what rather than what you don't. And I think we're all seeing that recently in recent years. But humans are strange things. People stay in abusive relationships, just like same as people stay in self-abusive relationships. We rather have what we've got, and when we know what we've got, instead of letting it go.
And that's where we say that change is the scariest thing. But move forward and embrace that.
Definitely.
And that hanging on can really hold us back. Because all the time we've got all this, this hanging on to this stuff. It's not making way. If you look at the trees, as soon as, it's quite interesting how quickly actually, once those leaves are down, they only have a little while before they actually start forming a bud. And you're making way for that new growth. And if you're going to move forward and excel and grow and unfold and show your beauty, it's not a fast thing. It's going to be slow, but you've got to be able to let go of that last bit fearlessly, and be fearless in letting that go, so that new growth, that shoot, can actually open and start to grow and blossom and bloom and come to its full potential, in the height of the summer.
And then, as we say, it's not only the leaves that have fallen, it's the seeds as well, and those seeds fall in amongst that decay of those leaves, and they're ready to shoot up and be completely new and start new cycles of life, birth, death, rebirth.
I see a lovely thing. I can't remember exactly how it went now, but it was about this huge big oak tree that got felled in the wind, and you know, all this wisdom, and it had all been, you know, this poor tree, you know, it was big and majestic and full of all this wisdom, and it got felled, but at its feet was a little tiny shoot to grow again, and just going on that wisdom as that grew. So it wasn't the end of the big mighty oak, it was the starting of the new shoot that had all those beautiful possibilities in front of it.
Yeah, and like, you know, the seed has the power of the whole tree. You know, from small acorns, mighty oaks grow, and all of this.
Absolutely.
You know, like, so that energy is just constantly being recycled. So let's recycle that negativity into the seeds of positivity.
Absolutely. So, you know, and do let us know, you know, you know, privately or on here or on the shamanic page, just let us know how it goes for you. You know, whether this has helped. And then when you've done that, when you've actually feel that you've finished that, and you've either put them in the river, or you've had a fire, or you've gone out in the wind and you've let the wind take them, whatever you do, and then spend a little bit more time out in autumn. Go to your nearest woodland. I mean, even in the towns, you know, people say, oh, you know, you're lucky you live in the countryside, but most towns have got parks, and then parks have trees. A lot of roads have trees. Right in the middle of a town, a busy town near here that I know of, there is a couple of roads with rows of trees all the way down. They're stunning, absolutely stunning. You know, go out and enjoy it and blend with the spirit of autumn. And, you know, and while you're out there, start gathering. And, you know, it'd be really lovely. I think come these sort of, I mean, we'll be changing the clock soon, so it's going to be, you know, darker earlier. And we're going to have these long nights. And, you know, to do collage. I don't know if anyone's ever done that, but, you know, there's so many beautiful things out there for autumn that you could collect and make for people. And I'm sure that somebody would love to be gifted a little or a big collage, rather than you go out and buy Christmas cards and that sort of thing, or birthday cards, and make things, use things from autumn. She's given you all these gifts, and you know, you can really do it. I mean, I did try to look for some more sticks today.
What are you making? Beaters?
Yeah, for my little drum. But you know, you can go into shops. You can buy all different size canvases even, and you know, and get some glue and stick them on, arrange them, and make some really lovely murals. You know, with, I mean, these leaves. Look at them. I mean, they're all different. There's some different shapes. You know, you can even do them, make them like a 3D and build them up. And even the berries. Just be careful with berries that you don't pick the wrong berries, or they fall off and your dog eats them. That might not be good, or your kids eat them. But you know, build them up and make little collages. That's really, really lovely thing to do.
Another way of connecting to autumn, isn't it? You know, really get into the feel of that. And quite often, for a lot of people, I mean, we're lucky. We live right out in the middle of nowhere. But some of you, I know, live in towns or whatever. And sometimes just bringing that bit of autumn in just really keeps you connected with the season. Especially if you're living somewhere where you have, like, you might have trees around, but you're not really feeling that you're in nature. Central London, whatever. Bring nature inside, you know. The more you bring those things in seasonally, the more we connect with them. And as Lynn said, there's so many beautiful colours out there with the leaves of autumn and everything.
And they're just stunning. Absolutely stunning. What I do miss is the reds. I don't round here. I haven't got any of the reds in my own land here, around Caer Caraine. And there was a picture I shared on Facebook yesterday, I think it was, of when 3 of us went over to the Isle of Man, and it was beautiful, because we used to when we went over there, we used to go in October, and we used to go and collect. And this is something you could do as well. for your own home, and that's bringing an autumn altar. It's so amazing to do. And there was these beautiful red
maple
leaves and
all sorts. Like the leaves around there in the Isle of Man were absolutely amazing. Our altar was always really amazingly colourful. Wasn't it?
Oh, it was absolutely, it really was. It was stunning. But, you don't have to have a big altar. Just go out and bring a few things in, so you can really connect to that season and go with that season and be in harmony with that season, be in balance with that season, and let the creativity side flow. People say, oh, I can't do crafts, I can't do this. But, all it needs is a bit of glue and something to glue it to. I mean, you don't even have to go out. I mean, nearly everybody gets parcels. We get loads of parcels here. Loads of parcels we get here, but just use a piece of the card and arrange things. Do it if you've got children or grandchildren. Show them how to connect to autumn. Bring that autumn in, and the birds are still singing really, really beautifully. I mean, they really are. But what I like, as the trees start to fall as well, you start to see all their little nests where all their young have hatched over the summer and over the spring, and it's amazing. And I love that when you get to the skeleton of the trees and all you can see is like loads of little nests in there that you didn't even know were there. So it's really good to sort of to do that and go out and as we said, just go out there and connect, and then bring some of it indoors and make your own little altar.
Especially after you've gone out and let go of this negativity, to bring some new, more colourful leaves back into the house, just to connect with that thing and have it, whether you make a collage, whether you just have a pile of leaves, just to have that connection and to see that change. Because when we do these things in the physical, it has a real reflection on our inner workings as a human as well. And the medicine really comes through just from doing the physical activity. And a lot of the time, the way we work, we'll do physical things just because we know the reflection of what's happening. Yeah,
it all helps with that connection. It all helps with that blending in. I mean, there was a part when we went to the woods, it was yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I can't remember now, it seems days just blend, but Sven and I were in the woods, and there was this moment, I was leaning up against this, it was a silver birch, and it was a really thin silver birch, and I was leaning up against it, and I was looking up, and the sky was blue, and there was just this breeze, and the leaves were just moving very gently in this breeze, and I was looking, and next thing is I was just not there. I was totally disappeared. There was this space this time there's nothing existed. It was just bliss, and that was a really lovely experience. Just standing up against this, feeling that the roots as well, feeling those roots going down into the earth, but then looking up at these branches, and the possibilities were endless. But the magic for me was that we just lost, and Sven said the same. We just totally blended with the spirit that's there. It was it's hard to put it into words. It's hard to explain how we felt. So just go out there and experiment and do it yourself. And I must tell you about this little woodland as well. It was really lovely. The children had made this little fairy walk, and it's on my doorstep, and I didn't even know it was there. It was Sven found it.
Sven came over from Finland to find it for you.
Yeah, I didn't know it was there, but they'd done all these little fairy walks, and there was these little doors and little gateways and little pegs. They'd made them into fairies, and it was really, really lovely to see. The children really did enjoy that woodland. So and it was all biodegradable stuff because it's all disappearing. So it's all going back down into earth,
And so, well, it's good to go out and connect with trees in different ways, just spending time with them. Like, we're going to do a chant in a little while that was like, to me, it was gifted by a beech tree. There's this one beech tree that I often go and spend some time with, and however you feel about these things, this beech tree was just talking to me, and it gave me a chant. It gave it to me as a gift to share, that I want to share with you this evening anyway, that we'll do. But this beech tree, the whole charm is like about the cycles of energy going through that constant from seed to tree to seed. But when the chant came to me, I realised it wasn't so much about that physical thing, it was about the energy flow of that recurring thing. And so apt for this time of year. Well, so apt for any time of year, really, because it's in that cycle. But at the moment, we're in this real place of the death and life cycle really changing. I mean, everybody, we see spring, we see the signs of new life, but it's now that it's all the groundwork, if you like, is being done. So it's a great time for us to do that groundwork as well. But like, the more time you spend with trees, the more trees will take you into a different time zone, or they'll start to talk to you. They start to, you connect with them, and by that very nature, they'll start to connect with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And once you start getting that connection, you'll even notice the smells, because there's a smell to autumn. There's a smell to autumn, and it's a lovely smell. I love walking in those damp leaves. You know, and then I like the crunch of the dried leaves. There's so many different sounds as well in autumn. Yeah. If you stand there quietly in the woods like we did, you can hear the leaves come down.
Yeah.
You can just hear them coming down, and as they land.
The sounds of autumn are definitely gorgeous.
Let autumn sing to you.
And I love that smell. That smell is always, to me, it has this musty, ancient smell where the earth's moistening and all the mushrooms are growing, you know. It's got this, it always seems to smell the most organic, I think. But I don't know why that seems to be the point. You really, you smell the earth more in autumn than any other month, I think.
Yeah, I think you do. Yeah. There is a real smell to it. Whether it's all the different, you know, as you say, it's all the mushrooms, all the different fungi that starts to come out in that. But it's been damp and the rotting, and but it's lovely. It's just great, you know, and But as I say, you know, and I said to you earlier, you know, don't feel that if you live in the town that you're a bit deprived or anything, because there are, you know, nature, she's there, and if you look for her, she'll even grow up through a bit of concrete, but there are trees around. There are trees around.
There's always trees around.
You know, and the different colours. And there's something about the light as well at autumn time. That the light, everything's different, isn't it? Even the light is different. The way the light filters through the trees, you know. And you stand there and you absorb in that through the trees, and that smell coming up.
It's those grey days as well. The grey days make the earth stand out and be more vibrant, don't they, against the grey background. When the sky's beautiful and blue, your focus tends to go onto the sky. But when the sky's greyer, your focus actually tends to go more onto all the different shades of greens and oranges and reds of everything, you know. Makes it stand out more.
You know, the words in that poem, there was one of the ones that stood out to me when I did this one was the you know, the colours being lush, but it was the trees that are painted with spirit's soft brush. And when you look at the leaves, the different shading and the different colours on them, it's just like someone has just, you know, spirit has just painted it on, isn't it? You know, it's like spirit's soft brush, and I like that. So
we could have done with Les and Janice's leaf collection, though, couldn't we?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was big. Well, it was lovely.
You have to look on Lynn's profile because she put it up there.
Yeah, I think I'm standing there with a big bunch. But if you look back at some of our memories, because we used to always do a concert over there as well. So we not only had our big altar set up in the middle, we would have it right across the stage, wasn't it? So the stage was all of these beautiful colours, and then the sunflowers as well, because the sunflowers are still going. You know, the other day we went past his garden, and there must have been like 20 sunflowers. I mean, they are starting to come to the end, but that rich colour. I really didn't want to bring the pumpkins in, but they're sort of edging their way in, you know, edging their way in. I bought this beauty when I was in, I think I was in Malta, and I got this. I see this cloth, didn't I? It was this lace, and it was all leaves, and it was all autumn colours. I said, I had to get that. I said that's beautiful for our, what we call it, our travelling altar cloth. Beautiful colours, and then all those like just different little things that would make it smell nice and look nice.
Well, they connected us and the audience, and when we were there, we were usually using the same hall for a workshop, so it worked as connecting us all to autumn. We sat in a circle, and what did you look at? You looked at autumn, all the different colours, all the berries, everything on the altar in front. Those ways of connecting are so valuable.
Yeah, I mean, when we walk down our track, and you know, that's where I walk quite a lot, up and down our track, and I've watched it change through the seasons again really closely. You know, I've watched I've sort of watched the hawthorn from going from just branch to tiny little saps, then to starting to burst into the greenery, then the hawthorn flower, white, then pink, then brown and shrivel, and berries. Now they're just the most reddest berries. I've never seen so many berries, so I think we're in for a good winter, I think. But lots and lots of berries, and then there's the rose hips, so there's so much colour out there as well.
But amazing how the seasons are fading into each other, and you really see it in nature, because we, like, as humans, we kind of think, oh well, it's equinox, that summer's over, autumn's started, but those sunflowers that are still out, they're that last sign of summer. So summer's only just really ending, even though autumn, we're in the full swing of it now, aren't we? It started a couple of 3 weeks ago, you know. It's so summer hasn't ended, particularly because autumn has started. We've still got those last hints of summer while autumn's getting going. And that, you know, and probably within days, if you haven't already, you'll start to see some signs of winter. You know, I mean, it sounds cold, it sounds dark, but that's the way it's going. You know, we've got this cycle going, and because you see a sign that makes you think of winter doesn't mean autumn's over. No. Because they fade into
chestnuts.
Everything's gradual.
Chestnuts should be out soon. We should be like roasting the chestnuts.
They're probably already out. You just.
And it's like going in. I love going into all of that. You know, I like the low lights and the fire going and the smell of the dinner in the oven. And there's PJs. It gives you, you know, you've got permission to wear PJs and can put PJs on at 4 o'clock. You know, that's fine as well. But yeah, you know, when we sort of we relate here, the way we work our quarters and our directions is the west is a place of water, and that is that cleansing as well, and the cleansing rains. So yes, enjoy that
part of the cycle. So I think we're going to do this chant to finish off. It's quite easy. It's a 5-line chant, and we're going to do it 5 times. Okay, and this chant came from a beech tree. And I'm going to just tell you the lines now, so that you can join in as you can. And the chant goes, from a seed I grow, life's energy reborn. Up to the leaves I flow, then back to the earth below, the place where seeds are sown. Okay, so we're just going to start it. We're going to go through it 5 times, enjoy it, and then Lynn's going to say a few words afterwards, I believe.
Yes.
Okay, and yeah. So let's just take a nice breath together. From a seed I grow, life's energy reborn. Up to the leaves I flow, and back to the earth below, the place where seeds are sown. From a seed I grow, life's energy reborn. Up to the leaves I flow, and back to the earth below, the place where seeds are sown. From a seed I grow, life's energy reborn. Up to the leaves I flow, and back to the earth below, the place where seeds are sown. From a seed I grow, life's energy reborn. Up to the leaves I flow, and back to the earth below, the place where seeds are sown. From a seed I grow, life's energy reborn. Up to the leaves I flow, and back to the earth below, the place where seeds are sown.
So, I love that chant. It's very simple, but yet it has such profoundness within its words, the story within it. So it's very powerful. Nothing like sitting under a tree and doing that.
No.
So
what's always got me is the kind of the perspective of the chant, because it's from a very energetic perspective, as opposed to a physical perspective, which I find very interesting.
Yeah, that's lovely. I like that. So, well, you know, we didn't know how long we were going to go on for this evening, and we don't really like working like that. We go till we feel it's done, and I'm feeling that we've covered as much as we possibly can tonight. So we're going to sort of round up a little bit, and then I've got a little piece to say to you, and then we'll do a closing. Do and try and go out there and spend some time and connect. And the trees will give you songs, they'll give you words. Spirits of autumn will give you words to share and comfort. Remember, they're there to help. And you have a conversation with them like we're having a conversation. And those things are all there to teach. Nature is the best teacher we can have. So, okay. Now, when I came down here tonight to get ready and get sorted, as I was walking down, I could hear the owl, and the owl was really, really singing into the darkness. And so I'm gonna recite this little piece and take this with you, and I'll do a little closing. And then I'll run through a few other things outside of this circle sort of things. So into that darkness as we go into our dream time tonight, filled with that knowledge of autumn and its help and its teaching. And into the darkness of the night, into dream time, we gently slip as all around us stills. The owls, they sing their nighttime song, our sleepy minds to fill. Nature's there in abundance, the gifts are there so many. All we have to do is stop, take time and look. To the spirits of this place, to the spirits of autumn, to the leaves that we collected, to the energy and the intentions that we put into those leaves. For autumn showing us how we can let go. As we go into the night, we go into dream time, we say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
And from our circle to your circle, we send our love. And have a wonderful, wonderful autumn.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful weekend coming up. Got a few things to share with you here. Live tomorrow night, Touch the Earth are going to be playing from Norfolk. So we're going to be doing a live stream. Hopefully the connection's good. If not,
it'll be on later as a video.
But we're planning on going live. I think it's at 7 o'clock tomorrow. I believe it will be on the Touch the Earth page, Touch the Earth music page.
Yeah,
keep an eye. Maybe. And then next Friday, we're doing if you're in our flute circle. If not, it doesn't matter because we'll be doing it on my profile most probably. But we'll be doing a flute concert from here. Yeah. Myself, Bruce, Sven, and Lee. All at social distance. Well,
rubbish. We're in a bubble.
So we'll be doing a flute concert as well. So that'd be nice. And that's called, I think I've called that the Flutes Through Autumn, something like that.
Yeah, it's very seasonal.
Very seasonal. And so there's a few things going on. So do keep an eye on the website. Bruce and I have got a couple of other workshops lined up as well. I think that's working with the elements.
We can do the elements,
So and then I'm doing a meditation as well. So it's going to be a meditation. I think that's on the 22nd. But there's everything is up on the Shamanic Centres page. And if you can't find it, just drop us a message and we'll try and find it.
Watch this space. Coming to a device near you soon.
Yeah, so good night, everyone.
Yeah, enjoy your autumn. And remember to let go of it all. It's autumn. Oh, all those leaves missed. That was supposed to be really dramatic, but it didn't happen.